Hello all, this is Damini, co-founder of WeMakeScholars. I welcome you to yet another session of Discover Study Abroad. Today we have Phani Ratnala with us, who is a student from Vizag who went on to do his masters in the UK and got into some of the top universities like Imperial College London, University of Manchester, etc. So in this video, he's going to share with us how exactly he cracked the an hour long interview of Imperial College London. So he's going to share some tips on that as well. And he has got the prestigious Great Scholarship by British Council. So I'm going to ask him a certain questions on that how exactly he managed to get that. And most interestingly, he is also an IELTS trainer, so he's going to share some tips on that as well. So very interesting profile. I'm sure all of you are going to love this session. So let's start. Hi, Phani. Thanks a lot for taking time on an early morning on a Sunday for this recording. So, how are you doing today?
Hi, Damini. Thanks for inviting me. I am actually excited because I used to see your videos back then in India, and now I'm here recording a video with you. Yeah,
Okay.
the weather is pretty cold today. It's 4 degrees Celsius outside.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, the reason wearing a huge jacket.
Okay, sure. Funny as you're in Manchester, so I'm sure that the winters are going to be pretty cold, and we are recording this in November. So I wish you good luck because I have been in UK and I know it's winters can get terrible. I used to get up every morning and clear off the snow in front of my home in Sheffield where I used to stay. So I'm sure you are going to do that as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So Funny. Let's start. See, the viewers are waiting to hear from you what exactly the kind of background you have, and you have such an interesting profile, which I have told them. So let's start with a little bit background about yourself. So can you tell us like where do you hail from, and where did you grow up, and where did you do your schooling, and all those?
Yeah, originally I'm from Visakhapatnam, a small town in Andhra Pradesh. I did my schooling not there, but in West Bengal back then. So
Okay.
after my schooling, I moved to Visakhapatnam and I studied my engineering there. I studied electrical and electronics engineering.
Okay.
However, after my engineering, I started working for the IT industry. Though my role was not completely an IT engineer kind of a role, I was into engineering services. Um, I was looking into understanding how engineering systems are making impact on the environment from the beginning itself, because
Okay.
we are harming our environment more than what we were doing earlier. So I was initially interested in that area. So slowly and steadily, when I started gaining experiences, I started exploring options to further broaden my perspective of engineering systems and environment. So it's truly interdisciplinary. And now I'm here at Manchester, which is the #1 in implementing environmental action goals. And I'm studying environment impact assessment here. I'm pretty excited for this course.
Yeah. Okay. So Funny, I think in India it always happens that parents say that okay, do engineering, or even our colleagues. Mostly, I mean that looks like a very feasible option, and I think that's what mostly engineers do. Like once they get into the engineering, that's when they start realizing okay, there is something else they like more, right? I think that's what exactly happened in your case also, right? So you became more interested in environmental and energy related area once after you completed your engineering.
Yes, in fact, when I joined engineering, I was interested in that area. It's not that someone forced me to do that.
Okay.
However, I thought that engineering is a little narrowing down nowadays, and
Hmm.
what's more important than engineering is our protection of our environment.
Hmm.
That's what I prioritized over engineering.
Yeah, I think a lot of that, if youth like me and you probably, and when we are interested in climate and environment, I think that's what probably our planet needs more, right? At this point in time. Yeah. So Funny. My next question to you will be like, when you told your family about you plan to study abroad. So what exactly was their reaction? Was it like why do you want to go, or were they very supportive of that?
Obviously not. My parents were extremely afraid of me going abroad alone and studying. Uh,
Okay.
so it took quite a lot of time, probably I think 1 year to convince them to
Okay.
study abroad. So I was
Okay.
planning since 2020 and I'm here in
Hmm.
2021 now.
Okay.
So
Okay.
quite a lot of time I told them about the advantages of studying abroad, especially in the UK, the high ranked universities and the
Hmm.
overall curriculum that they offer. So yeah, all these things collectively made me convince them for the study abroad dream.
Okay. So I think while you were applying, while you were writing your IELTS and all those things, you were also convincing your parents side by side. Am I right?
Yes, yes. In fact, I didn't tell them when I started applying. I told
Okay.
them once I got admits from some universities.
Okay, I did the same thing. I actually told my parents only after I got the admits that I'm planning to go to UK. So yeah. Funny as you were working while you were applying for these admissions and all. So there are a lot of things, you have to put a lot of time in writing the essays, and also especially when you write these tests, IELTS and all. So how did you manage along with working, writing these tests and all this? And you could manage to
Um,
get 7.5 also, yeah. So how did you get that score without, while working?
yeah, first of all, about preparation for universities. So I was
Hmm.
applying for similar kind of courses in different universities. So I applied for
Okay.
14 different universities in the UK, which includes
14
Imperial College London.
universities.
And I
Okay. Okay.
and I got admits from all of them. But however, I got some scholarships from 3 to 4 different universities, and finally I chose Manchester. Coming to time management, I used to manage my time pretty well. Sometimes I used to lie in my office that I have some urgent work or something else to work on my
Hmm.
SOP or to attend interviews. Imperial College London had aggressive interview on me, and they almost it lasted for 40 to 45 minutes. And I feel it's
Okay.
my biggest achievement that I
Hmm.
cleared that interview.
Hmm.
Coming to IELTS, I didn't prepare much for IELTS, to be honest. I registered for IELTS about 3 to 4 days ago, 3 to 4 days before the exam.
Okay.
I was pretty good in English because I studied in an English medium since childhood.
Hmm.
So IELTS was not a problem. Though I was not aware of the exam pattern, I just went ahead and gave the exam and got a 7.5. But
Okay.
later on, after I gave the exam, I liked the ambience of the exam, the way English language is tested with the 4 sections and all. So what it is, I started studying about the exam more after the exam, and
Okay.
eventually I did a certification on IELTS training, and I'm training some students on IELTS personalized one-to-one sessions. I
Okay. So is that just a passion for you? Like, okay, let me. So was it like any professional goal for doing the certification, or was it just a passion for you?
The certification is professional, but I
Okay.
like to teach people. I like it when people get uh, advanced in their level when I teach them, and that's the
Okay.
reason I took up and I teach just for my passion.
Okay. So now, as you have done the certification, I'm sure you're a pro in this. So tell us some tips, because a lot of people watching this, they find IELTS stuff. They're not like you prepare for 4 days and go and write the exam. So can you share some really like secret sauce which you think can help people get a better score?
Okay, in fact, there is nothing secret sauce. There is a lot of content available online nowadays. On YouTube,
Hmm.
there is fantastic content, or there are trainers who can personally train you for that. However, I would say, first of all, do not panic for the exam. What IELTS is looking for you is a natural person. You know how you will be when you go to a foreign country. So be yourself. You do not need to panic at all, especially in the speaking test. Do
Okay.
not panic at all. Second thing, while preparation, make sure that you are concentrating on the language as well, not just on the test. Okay. There are two parts in IELTS. The first one is the language part, that is your own English language, how you improve it. The second part is the test taking skills, whatever you do inside those 4 hours or 3 hours of the IELTS exam. So concentrate on both of them equally. It's not that you concentrate only on one, that is, concentrate only on the exam test taking skills, shortcuts, etc. No, you should concentrate on the language as well. So it should be a holistic development, and that's what I tell my students as well.
Okay. Okay. So funny, generally, like people find which section people find the toughest, like whether it's writing or speaking or reading or listening. Which one is you think most of the people, you spoke to, they find it like tougher?
Yeah, as far as my experience is concerned, I find speaking, like most people find speaking as a concern because they're
Okay.
afraid to talk to a person live. And
Hmm.
that's what you have to do when you're abroad. So
Hmm.
take speaking test as a natural test rather than an interview, I would say.
Okay, got it. Sure. So now, Funny, even though you stressed a little bit on this part as well about the interviews you had gone through for Imperial College London, and when you applied to other universities. So see, you have got into some of the top universities in the UK. Imperial College London, I think that's ranked third, if I'm not wrong, and
Yes.
also Manchester is one of the top universities. So what exactly do you think you did right to get into like these top universities? So what exactly, let's say a student who's watching this video should probably make sure they put it in the right way if they want to crack these universities.
Got it. So for this, three things are essential ingredients, I would say. The first
Okay.
one is your CGPA or your undergrad score, which you cannot
Okay.
change anyway once your undergrad is done.
Can you
So
share
if
that with us if you don't mind, your
I
scoring?
had an 85% in my undergrad,
Okay, 85. Okay. And what about inter 10th and 12th?
10th and 12th were I had around 93 and 85 respectively.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Yeah.
So
Okay.
10th and 12th do not matter much, as I say. Your undergraduation score matters a lot when you are
Okay.
applying for
Okay.
top universities. That's the first ingredient. Your IELTS score is your second ingredient,
Okay.
which can be waived off nowadays, maybe due to COVID pandemic. I'm not sure of the
Hmm.
rules right now.
Yeah.
The third ingredient, which is the most important one, is your SOP or your personal
Okay.
statement. So in your personal statement, you should reflect yourself, right? What's your background, what you did in your undergraduate and or after your undergraduate, and what exactly brought you to this course, and why are you going to do this course, and also about your future plans. What are you going to do after this course? So you should highlight all these things in your SOP in a very lucid manner, such that the admissions person or the person who is reviewing the SOP gets an idea that yes, this person is clear of what he has done. He has done before, he's doing now, and he's going to do in the future. That's what top universities usually look for.
Okay. So funny, I think in your case, it must be like much more tougher than other students because you studied electrical engineering, then you work in an IT company, and then you wanted to go for a environmental and energy related program. I think that it's not that tough for other students who are, let's say, continuing the same path of computer science and then IT company and then let's say a
Yes.
master's in data. So how exactly, do you think it was tougher and how exactly did you manage that part?
People who are going to do a master's in the same field, for them it's a little easier to write the SOP, to be honest. And, but those who are looking to change field or not a complete change or trying something new, interdisciplinary kind of thing, or following their passion. So these people should be extra cautious about what they're writing, because universities will definitely look into what you have written and they read it
Hmm.
line by line and understand your status. It's
Okay.
not they
Hmm.
don't give random admissions to any people, especially top
Okay.
universities. So they are very
Okay.
picky and choosy when selecting people. So yeah,
Hmm.
everyone should be extra careful while writing the SOP.
Okay. I'm sure you had to put very clearly why exactly, what exactly you're gonna do with your electrical degree and IT experience and an environmental degree all put together, right? So you had to conclude your SOP with that.
Yes, in fact, I linked everything to the environment. First,
Okay.
when I was studying electrical engineering,
Hmm.
I have been an intern in NTPC, which was
Hmm.
a coal-based thermal plant.
Hmm.
So I was
Hmm.
there. I studied how the coal burning and the entire industry is making an impact on environment. I studied that.
Hmm.
So it started from there. Then I did
Okay.
an internship in National Institute of Wind Energy, which is
Hmm.
located in Chennai. So I studied about wind energy and its components and how it's making impact, how it is solving the problem of this climate change. And then I wrote about that. And then when I was in TCS, so I used to look after the TCS had a great sustainability department in it. So TCS used to do a lot of things to reduce its carbon footprint, like setting up solar panels on the office, setting up water recycling plants, etc., etc. So
Okay.
I was actively, involved with these things, how exactly it's going. I used to learn, though I didn't work there, I used to learn simultaneously along with my work. So this is what I mentioned in my SOP. And then
So
my future
I think you
goals.
kept everything together, like whatever you did in environmental impact. I would say you kept everything together and put that in your SOP, right?
Yes, yes. So it's like a holistic way of writing.
Hmm. Okay, got it. Sure. And Funny, very interestingly, everyone, let's say, who applies for top universities, they worry about the funds part, right? And top universities are generally very costly also. For example, in your case, Manchester, the fee is about 20,000 pounds, right? For the year tuition fee. So
Yes.
how exactly, and interestingly, you have got a scholarship also, great scholarship for 10,000 pounds. So how exactly did you manage? Like, were you also worried about the finance part? And how exactly did you manage getting this scholarship?
Yeah, definitely. I was worried like hell for the finance part.
Okay.
This scholarship
Okay.
actually reduced my all worries at once. I got a
Okay.
10,000 pound scholarship, which is 50% of my tuition fees, and it
Yeah.
was relaxing for me now.
Okay.
Coming to the funding part, yes, the fees was too high, especially in top universities. It's really high, and we as middle class students, we don't have any other option except going for an education loan. Right?
Hmm.
So the
Hmm.
main worry in me was how long will it take to clear that loan off. So
Hmm.
that's what I was worrying about. That's the
Okay.
first thing. And also, application to loan process is too cumbersome in India, I would say.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
when I contacted WeMakeScholars, they directly gave me the number of the SMS department, the special mortgage
Okay.
service, and I directly went there, gave my documents and all. They told me what extra is needed. So it almost
Hmm.
saved me 15 to 20 days of time, and I'm happy
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, yeah. So you applied via WeMakeScholars to Bank of Baroda, right? So I think that's where the process became simpler. But Funny, can you give us firstly like a few details about the scholarship part? When exactly did you apply? What was the toughest part in the application process? Because great scholarship is something I think a lot of students apply for because
Yes,
it is applicable for a lot of universities, right? So
yes.
I'm sure people who are listening and to this session, they would want to know how exactly did you manage getting the scholarship. So can you share some tips on that?
Okay, first thing on getting scholarship is apply as many as possible. There are number of scholarships out there.
Exactly.
There are a number of
I,
scholarships. Apply.
I say the same thing in all my scholarship video. Apply for as many as you're eligible for.
Yes, that's all. So in the beginning, I applied for some scholarships. I got rejected. So I didn't give up on at that time. I started
Hmm.
applying for more universities, more scholarships, etc. So I knew that I had that X factor in me that would lead me to a scholarship. So I didn't give up in spite of rejections. And in the University of Manchester, there are only two great scholarships for Indian students, and I'm one of the
Okay.
two who received this scholarship.
Awesome.
So yeah, I received the same scholarship from University of Edinburgh, University of Exeter as well, but I
Okay.
chose Manchester finally. Coming to application of scholarships, I would say be clear on why you are applying for that scholarship. For example, there are fully funded scholarships for studying in the UK. So if you want to, most fully funded scholarship have a rule that after your studies, you should go back to your country and work there. Right?
Yeah.
So you should be clear on why you want to go back to the country and what you are going to do there. So I want to work here after my graduation. So fully funded scholarship didn't excite me, so I didn't apply for most of them. I was looking for partial scholarships, like the one which I got. So while applying, I made sure that my intention is extremely clear. Intention of doing the course. Again, whatever is my SOP. SOP is the base for everything for this as well. So
Yeah.
yeah. So in my SOP for scholarship, I just added something new, that why funding is required for me and what's my financial status currently.
Okay.
I did one creative thing. I don't know it worked or not, but I started including my LinkedIn profile on my SOP as well. That is the
Okay.
SOP for scholarship. So that the
Hmm.
person who is reviewing can check my LinkedIn profile. He can get to know more about it. I don't know if
Hmm.
they saw it or not, but
Hmm.
I think it works as well.
Okay. Okay. Because they generally do not see your entire background and the path what you have
Yeah,
taken.
that's,
So I think
that's
LinkedIn can give them a more of a, yeah. Okay. Got it. Your path. Hmm. Okay, so what exactly was the timeline, Funny? When did you apply for these, started applying for these scholarships, and when exactly you got the result of great scholarship?
Okay, so for top universities like Imperial, Edinburgh, Manchester, all these, I applied in November 2020 itself for both for the admission and scholarship. So I applied
Okay.
almost a year ago.
Hmm.
But for some lower ranked universities, I applied it later in March or April, that kind of time. So
Got it.
you should be
And
ahead by 1 year at least to obtain scholarships, because most scholarships end their deadline in December, January kind of.
hmm. Okay, and when exactly did you hear from them about from the British Council people about this scholarship?
That was too late. I heard from the British Council in June for the
Okay.
University of Manchester, and in August for the University of Edinburgh and Exeter.
Oh,
So
okay.
it was
So
too
by the
late
time I
from.
think you were already decided on where exactly you want to go, right? August is too
Yes.
late, I guess.
In fact, my visa was also there with me by the time they released the offer for other
Okay.
universities.
Got it. So now, so I'm sure because you were waiting for scholarship. So same thing happened with me also. Even I, got a British Council scholarship, and even I heard from them in the month of June. So by the time I think you already start thinking how to manage the funds, because you can't keep waiting. You have to have a backup sort of thing, right? So you chose to apply for your loan via WeMakeScholars, and you got it also from Bank of Baroda.
Yes.
So, do you think it was a smart decision to apply via WeMakeScholars rather than applying directly?
Definitely, it was. In fact, the application, especially through government banks, is really cumbersome. So
Hmm.
while applying, as I said earlier, SMS service, I went directly to them, and it saved a lot of time.
Hmm.
And also during document checks and all, bank does a lot of delays in it. Maybe some
Hmm.
person is on leave, or the other team member is on some other task, or transfers, etc. There are 100 internal things there. They do a lot of delays. So whenever I faced a delay, I used to contact my admission counselor, and I mean the
Financial officer.
person, the financial officer. Sorry,
Hmm.
I used
Hmm.
to contact the financial officer, and they used to mail. I don't know where they used to mail, but
Hmm.
within a few days, I used to get a reward from the bank. So
Okay.
that's what I found extremely helpful.
Okay. So Lalita and Pratyusha, I think both of them were your financial officer. Earlier it was Lalita and then Pratyusha. So how was your whole interaction? Because they are the face of Remix College for you, right? So how exactly was your interaction with them, and what are some of the best parts of the interaction?
Well, during interaction, they were extremely polite, and they gave me the entire list of documents without missing anything. So
Hmm.
that I couldn't, it reduced my, transit time from bank to home a lot. So I felt happy
Hmm.
for that. Also,
Okay.
whenever I used to message them that the bank is not responding, so many days are done, they are not responding. They used to take the initiative and mail the bank, or get in touch with the bank, and then get back to me. So this is what I felt pretty good about the entire task, which is
Sure.
we make scholars.
Sure, Funny. So yeah, I mean, see in Bank of Baroda, when you apply, only when you go via VMix Scholars, you can directly apply in SMS. That's what you mentioned, right? And SMS has to eventually sanction the loan. So if you go on your own, you have to go via branch, and then the branch sends the same file to SMS. So I think that's the direct access you get when you apply via VMix Scholars. You can directly walk into SMS,
Yeah,
ask
exactly.
your questions. Yeah. Okay. So, Funny, I'm happy that, my team could help you and, get you the loan, and you got a 50% scholarship also, which again, you didn't have to take that much amount as loan. So, how exactly are you managing other parts of finance once you have landed in UK? Are you doing any part-time jobs, and also are you able to manage your living expenses through that?
Yes, in fact, life in the UK is extremely hectic, I would say. We
Hmm.
have to manage everything. We have to manage finances. We have to cook. We have to clean. We have to
Yeah.
study, which is the main part. We have to do some volunteering tasks. So I do
Yes.
all of these, and
Hmm.
I don't understand how I am managing these things still now, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, I work for McDonald's as a crew
Hmm.
member. That's what I
Okay.
do. McDonald's store is very near to my home, and I'm
Okay.
lucky enough that I got a job there.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
yeah, it takes around 10 minutes to travel, and yeah,
Hmm.
I work there. Apart
Hmm.
from that, I'm also involved with the university's what do you say, recruitment and mental health team of a few
Okay.
universities. where I work towards collecting feedback and improving student experience. And for the next semester, I'm the student representative for my course as well.
Oh, awesome, awesome. Yeah, okay. So you're managing everything, and I think that's what everyone watching this video should know, that, as a perspective, once you land in the university, this is how the life is going to be. You have to manage your cooking, which at your home probably your parents are managing for you. And then you have to do your coursework, you have to do your assignment, you have to do part-time job. And as Phani mentioned that, you have to do some volunteering work also, which can eventually go on your resume and add some a value, and also it gives you some sort of satisfaction when you're doing this. So guys, please be aware. So it's not it's not very glittery life that you keep roaming around UK and keep traveling. You also have to do a lot of work. Am I right, Funny, about this?
Absolutely correct.
Yeah, sure. So Funny, now my last question, let's conclude the session with this thing. So you are going for you went for an environmental related program, and you had an electrical engineering background. So how do you see your future professional path? What exactly are you looking to do? What are your future aspirations, and how exactly this master's is taking your step closer to that?
Well, the energy industry is a major contributor to the global warming and climate change. Every energy company, let it be electrical, mechanical, oil and gas, whatever it is, they are, especially in the UK, they are striving hard to reduce their carbon footprint and minimize the environmental impact. So I want to join such companies and use my skills to minimize the impact of energy industry on the environment. And later in time, as I go forward in my career, I want to become a chartered environmentalist specialized towards energy industry.
Okay, okay. So very interesting goal, and I'm very happy that I'm talking to someone who is so conscious about the environmental and doing something and changing the field just because you care about that. Because I personally, I link myself a lot to climate change and global warming and all these things. I think it affects me a lot, but I'm not doing anything major other than probably switching off the tap and switching off AC, which I generally I'm very conscious about. So I'm very happy that you are doing something and you change your field and you're gonna do something big. And let's stay in touch, and I'll be happy to keep knowing what exactly are you doing in future forward. Yeah. Thank you, Phani. Thanks a lot for
Definitely,
taking time.
Definitely, I'll be happy to stay in touch and help students out there. One more fun fact about me: I'm a yoga trainer. I take weekly yoga sessions here in the UK as well.
Okay, that's interesting. So IELTS trainer, yoga trainer, and an environmentalist. So I think you have a very interesting, glamorous profile. So guys, we are putting Phani's LinkedIn profile link also in the description. So if you, in case you have any further questions, you can get in touch with him and ask those questions. So thank you, Phani. Thanks again. Yeah, bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell icon to never miss any updates from us.